Back. We're gonna get into Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan is about to be speaking on the new entertainers of today, bitch. So we finna see what she talking about, cause I don't really feel me. Last time I heard she was dissing Mary J. Blige, she said she was singing flat. And if you all know Mary J. Blige, you do.
Oh, in the way the game has changed. Yeah, because all bets are off. These women are doing any and every damn thing on stage and trying to sing too. And the ones who are doing the most physicalities with their butts and stuff, and their body parts are the ones that usually are compensating for what they don't have.
Chaka Khan definitely won't bite her tongue. I remember one time a lady was trying to take a picture with her, and you know how a lot of them try to show off their designer purses in a photo? This lady had this big old bag sitting on her lap, trying to model this YSL purse or whatever it was. She was trying to position that purse in the photo, and Chaka Khan was like, "Put your purse down, that look crazy."
Turn this way. Yeah, okay.
Beautiful.
Put your purse down.
Yours looks like a bigger screen.
And it did look crazy. Why are you trying to show off this purse in this photo instead of just focusing on taking a nice picture of yourself with Chaka Khan? Nah, her concern was highlighting a raggedy purse, all because it had a label on it. And Chaka Khan was like, "Nah, put that purse down. That looked crazy." Right to her face. And honestly, that was the correction that was needed. She didn't want the lady or herself looking crazy in the photo. That should be considered being your sister's keeper. But yeah, that's one thing about her. She's always going to tell it like it is, and it is what it is.
What do you think is missing from some of today's music?
Talent.
Even 7 years ago, she noticed what a lot of people could also see. The new R&B music that was coming out, the new artists, they weren't the same. And now, nearly a decade later, you're seeing more decline, while also dealing with more sensitive, clueless people. Because you have to be clueless to be sitting up here calling a 5 to 6 decade legend jealous of new artists for telling the truth. Yeah, a lot of these flamingos on social media, that's what they're saying about Chaka Khan's comments in a new interview.
Oh, in the way the game has changed. Yeah, because all bets are off. These women are doing any and every damn thing on stage and trying to sing too. And the ones who are doing the most physicalities with their butts and stuff, and their body parts are the ones that usually are compensating for what they don't have.
Where's the lie though? Not one lie told. And that's the part the snowflakes on social media had a problem with. At least one of the issues in the interview, which really wasn't an issue to me at all. It's the truth. You have a lot of these artists today out here with no talent. They really can't sing. So what do? They do the most for attention. They get the BBLs and have all the surgeries to try to entertain with a BBL body because they really don't have talent for real. You go to their concerts, they have Magic City poles up, they're falling out of chairs, can't even walk on stage, they can't rap, they can't sing, they just flop these saggy BBLs all over the place, telling jokes while being the joke, all to distract the audience so they don't realize they can't sing, rap, or whatever they're pretending to do on stage. Now, when Chaka Khan was talking about people not having talent, she wasn't talking about women like the ones here. Nah,
I want to say this real quick. You got to remember one thing about the talent of yesterday versus the talent of now. A lot of these people was going to church, nigga. A lot of these people was going to church, nigga. Jodeci come from the church. Jodeci's the whole structure is from church. Them chords they playing in the songs is from church. Devontae's father's a preacher. He owned a church. KC was in a gospel group and he was a child prodigy of as a gospel singer. And so was JoJo. My nigga, what you people need to realize is that's where a lot of motherfuckers was getting their learning and teachings of how to sing and how to hold a note and things like that from being in choirs and things like that. And even people who would just be singing and learning they had the talent to sing. They would be meeting people who were familiar with how to, you feel me, do these things and work with people like this, and even meeting people who also know how to sing that can help them better themselves at vocally. how to sing and do their voice, because Teddy Riley had to also learn how to sing from Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall taught Teddy Riley how to sing. Uh, shit. Michael Jackson learned how to sing from Johnny Guitar Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody has to teach you how to hit certain notes, how to use your voice as an actual instrument. Nobody's doing that nowadays, and nobody gives a fuck nowadays about that, because they can easily fix all of the shit that's wrong with your voice through the
I
computers
wasn't
that they
talking
use.
about them. Deborah Cox, Faith Evans, two of my favorite voices from the 90s. Faith was and still is everything. Same for Deborah Cox, super talented. Chaka Khan wasn't talking about them. Or artists like Whitney Houston, which was a number one voice to me. We're talking about a voice and talent that you cannot deny. And new artists of this decade and even last decade, there is no way you can compare these artists to that real authentic talent. You have the younger generation really thinking that SZA, Summer Walker, and Kalani can be compared to Whitney Houston, Kelly Price, Deborah Cox, or even Fantasia. Sorry, but never. This is why they have to fill their bodies with tattoos. I don't know what circuits of confusion Kalani is going around running, or BBLs like SZA and Summer Walker, to compensate for what's obviously missing. And calling a 50-plus year vet really legend. I'm talking about Chaka Khan, somebody that's been singing these songs for 50 to 55 years. To call her jealous for pointing out the truth is crazy. The lack of talent, the lack of artist development, and overall poor performance and poor quality. Not to mention, they want fans to put a higher value, a higher price tag on these new artists, paying $100, $200 for these shows and more, just to see these people. That's premium pricing compared to the seasoned legends, the real talent. So no, none of this Chaka Khan backlash is adding up for me, and she's 100% right.
Is Chaka Khan a hater? Let's talk about how the Through the Fire singer is saying ain't nobody told none of today's pop singers that they got anything when it comes to the vocals department. In a recent interview, the legendary Chaka Khan did not hold back any punches. When asked how she felt about today's pop artist, Miss Khan said, and I quote, she is not impressed. And you already know that women of a certain age, especially black women of a certain age, are not known to hold any punches. And she also added 20 on 10 when she said that these women are doing any and every damn thing on stage and trying to sing. She also put a little bit of extra on top of that and added that their butts and stuff. And
I'm gonna stop right here. But my main thing is this: she 1,000% right, because that's what I was gonna take it next. But I'm glad she said it. Ain't nobody doing artist development no more. Ain't nobody helping these artists structure their careers no more. Ain't nobody trying to get them better when they get there, because, like I said, you go through a process when you get into the industry, or you used to go through a process when you go through the industry. They used to give etiquette classes at Motown. Like a lot of shit that they don't do anymore that they used to do when it comes to labels. They don't really invest in the artists no more. But it's like, it ain't nothing to invest in. It's the reason why a lot of these people out here blowing up how they blowing up, because they blowing up off social media. So they getting their contracts based on amount of followers you got, amount of likes and subscribers you got on YouTube, amount of views you getting on YouTube, amount of streams you getting. Like, they not going for talent and picking talent up off the ground and building it up, because you have to actually build talent and nurture talent. And that's something that made things what it used to be so magical back then, because a lot of people didn't get home like that off of some shit. A lot of people went through their trials and tribulation. Like Rick James, it took him years and decades before he was able to become Rick James. A lot of people, Prince, took him some time to become Prince, and he had to grow and he had to learn as an artist what to do and what not to do, and how to build himself around his own image and his own, how he wanted to be portrayed as an artist. A lot of artists ain't even thinking about that no more, because they just don't give a fuck. Like she said, they doing so much for attention, and they doing so much for likes and clicks and shit, that it's not about the music no more. That's why these rappers and these singers don't put their heart in their music no more. You can't even really record a real singer the same way you used to back then, because now everything is so on point that they'll sound loud as fuck, while the person who can't sing, like, the singing low and shit, like Drake and Jeremiah and shit like that, they sound real good on record, because they're able to record on that microphone and on that technology, because it's not really shit to get loud. So you also gotta really key in on that, because, like I said, they can maximize your vocals, they can put them on key and on par with what the fuck you need them to sound like, and they can make sure you don't have to stretch your vocal cords as far as like a Whitney Houston or a Chaka Khan, who can belch a note, you feel me? And they shoot shit off. But yeah, no, people ain't really worried about being talented no more. Everybody worried about bullshit. Everybody worried about all the wrong stuff. Everybody trying to fit in. The artist ain't trying to be the ringleader no more. The artist is trying to be with the people. They doing the same things the people doing. They doing the same things people tell them to do. And then it's funny because at a point in time, the people used to listen to the artists. Now the artists listen to the people. The labels is listening to the people, which is really fucking everything up. This is why we have lack of substance in music. This is why we have a lot of lackluster like album sales, because don't nobody really want to invest in these people for real. They'll listen to them to have a good time, but they won't invest in them for real. You have to invest in somebody when you spending that money on that record and when you spending that money on that CD. That's an investment in that person. That's an investment in what they're doing in their art. So when you doing that as a person, especially as somebody who love music, like I already know it's because you connected with this shit. Nobody's making music for you to connect with anymore. They just want to make music that's just about the shit that's factory made, basically, that I would love to call, which is where everybody talking about pussy and sucking dick and all this other shit. It's not about love or love making. It's not about meeting somebody and understanding them or growing with that person. It's not about losing that person and missing that person. It's about fuck that person, forget that person, find a new person. It's not about finding love. It's about just having fun. And that's all music is really about right now. Especially in the R&B category. Especially in the R&B
gotta know your purpose, understand what worth is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These hoes be perping. OG to me, boy, watch your back. Hey, these niggas bound to attack. Gotta know your purpose, understand what worth is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your